After Anita Sarkeesian's declaration that diversity, equity and inclusion was not only not working, but in fact damaging the culture of games development, several brave and forward-thinking male feminists decided to attend this year's GDC to prove her right. Amongst other things, by harassing the female gamers attending, the developers, inviting them in for pitch meetings and then sexually assaulting them. Oh, and by the way, spiking the drinks as well. I'm sorry, a part of me is like, this isn't funny if it actually happened, but well, all we have is the accusations of a company that apparently wasn't at the conference but heard about things, so I take that with a pinch or two of salt, and I love the idea of this, because here's the thing. Day, as Anita Sarkeesian said, didn't work. In fact, it made things worse. Okay, well, the Games Developers Conference is a rather explicitly left-wing Games Developer Conference. By and large, simply because there is no right-wing Games Developer Conference, since pretty much all of them have been driven out of the industry years and years ago. And what is the result? Well, apparently, this place is so goddamn infamous for its abuse that they're just talking about, like, here. Following reports that multiple folks were assaulted or spiked at this year's GDC event. So at this year's event, after years and years of diversity, equity and inclusion, multiple folks. So I'm presuming men and women were sexually assaulted. Even as there were apparently large-scale works of spiking the drinks at the conference. Holy shit. Okay, alright. That sounds rather extreme. There was even, what was it here? What was it? Yes. 2 women were lured to a hotel room for a pitch and then assaulted. Would you like to come to my hotel room for a pitch meeting? Waves eyebrows. What's the pitch? Unzips pants. Okay, alright. See, again, part of me feels kind of bad because if this actually happened, then that is horrible, and all due sympathy to the victims of this, because that cannot and should not happen. But at the same time, these are the same goddamn people that have been lecturing us for years, and I have yet to invite a woman to my hotel room for a pitch meeting and then assault her. It's just not really a thing you hear about from my side of the fence, is it? So let's have a quick read here. Women in Game CEO Marie-Claire Eisman has released a statement asking if the games industry is going backwards, following reports that multiple folks were assaulted or spiked at this year's GDC event. In a public statement, Eisman reflected on employment stats and revealed that whilst both male and female games experience similar high levels of toxicity, showing that toxicity is an issue across the entire gaming community, the experience that girls and women encounter are often much darker and more threatening. Now, I think they perceive it as much darker and more threatening. In general, everyone gets shit on the internet. That is the internet. Literally. Everyone gets shit on. But women do tend to take it more personally. For some reason. Somehow, I feel as if this might be one of those intrinsic biological differences that we're not allowed to talk about anymore, but details. Eisman listed a handful of examples to evidence her claims, including reports that drinks have been spiked and women have been belittled and undermined, hit on relentlessly. Imagine that. You're in a conference with hordes of left-wing men who probably haven't so much as smelled a woman in years. As they've been told that if they do so, well, that will be sexual assault and they will have to go to jail and possibly be castrated. And now, you place them in a room, an enclosed space with people of the opposite gender? Well, I'm not making the Muslim argument here, but how could you possibly expect them to control themselves? Oh, cruel and unusual. And harassed on the shown floor. She also cited a recent story that emerged from GDC 2023 about the pitch meeting. Wow. Eisman added that while some people suggest that women in games organization is no longer relevant today, the company's work will only be done once women at a global games conference doesn't have to wonder whether she will be safe when she has a business meeting alone with a man. Well, by that standard, it is going to take a while indeed, because if this is the most left-wing games conference we can get, and this is the result, where you make it sound as if there is large-scale organized sexual harassment of women, as if that's just a thing that goes on. Every time there's a presentation on the show floor, just hordes of men line up outside of it and start shouting abuse at them. And sexual assault and drink space spinky English sparking is a common occurrence. You'd think that some kind of measures would be taken at some point, surely. Like just hordes of men line up in front of every presentation and hurl abuse of them. Maybe some security or something, God knows. In response to the recent claims, and that is what they are, that's why I can laugh at it, it's claims by somebody who wasn't apparently even there. A representative for the GDC told the press at the time that it was very upset to hear that some people, especially women, for they are the privileged class, reported concerning experiences during the GDC event, a week off-site event, including assault and drink spiking. This is outrageous and unacceptable. Everyone has a right to feel safe. Yes, they do, I suppose. But not in left-wing spaces, as it turns out. God damn it. But they do severely condemn, excuse me. Freudian slip there. Condemns any such behavior, and they support the victims in this matter. Well, GDC, I would venture a suggestion that if this happens at your events, even off-site relevant events, maybe you should take a long, hard look at yourself and wonder whether or not some more conservative values might be appropriate. Whether your diversity, equity, and inclusion measures have actually made you a much, 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 much worse event. Just, saying. As again, the allegations are rather serious. If we go to the source of this all, you see, GDC was reportedly full of abuse, drink spiking, and sexism. Multiple women were reportedly drugged and abused at this year's GDC this year. Just listen to that. Doesn't this just evoke pictures of a Roman-esque orgy where women are chased through the halls, their clothes ripped off them as they scream for mercy? It's just hordes of beta leftists chase after them. I mean, this must have been horrible. Again, I feel the need to continuously reiterate that I laugh because this is almost certainly so overblown it's not even funny. Fresh reports of drink spiking and abuse at GDC events are being shared online, as the event is once again at the center of a debate on women's safety in the gaming industry. Yet again. Apparently, this happens like every year. Why hasn't this conference been taken down? Why hasn't the police gotten involved? Surely, there should be like red tape across these doors, a huge police presence. There should be dudes with shotguns outside with rubber bullets ready to put down the rampaging hordes of sex-crazed lunatics inside. Something, surely. Allegations of drugging, assault, and overall misogyny. And this is one of the reasons why I also don't take this particularly seriously. Because he has druggings, assault, and misogyny. I don't feel like the latter allegation really belongs in the same category as these two. Yes, there were druggings, there were assaults, and by the way, there were misogyny as well. It makes me think that these are probably not quite as how shall I say, realistic depictions as one might imagine upon first hearing them. Because you ask the average Joe, what do you think of when a woman says she has been assaulted? And I imagine a far more graphic scene than what is likely to have actually transpired here. I imagine that an assault was something along the lines of, what did they say here? Yes, hit on relentlessly. But then again, it's GDC. It is a wokies conference. God alone knows what goes behind those ungodly, unholy doors. In fact, maybe the dude above doesn't even know. Perhaps it is because he has turned his gaze away from them that Beelzebub, otherwise known as the man with the fork, has decided to ascend, probably more correctly, upon the conference hall every single solitary year. Certainly would explain something. Women at GDC this year have been belittled and undermined in their roles, been hit on relentlessly, and had their drinks spiked by predatory men. Those damned left-wing feminists. If only something could be done. 2 women were even led to a hotel room by a man in a position of power for a pitch where he assaulted them. Okay, we have that one already. Multiple people have been roofied last Thursday night. Again, so we're not talking about just spiking the drink here with a little bit of alcohol, like roofies. Most probably at the karaoke event we hosted. I'm very sorry that they had to go through such a horrifying experience. It is absolutely not their fault, and we're already in the process of tracking down the, can't say that word on YouTube, who did this. Well, what conclusions can we possibly draw from this, my friends? I believe that we should all rally around Anita Sarkeesian in this regard. She may have been wrong on certain elements in the past when it came to sexism in general gaming, but I believe she has touched upon something vital, something dangerous within our milieu, namely the apparently rampant expanse of sexually assaulting feminists. The male variety, almost certainly, as the opposite would be, well, interesting, but probably unlikely, who simply cannot stop themselves from giving out roofies and spiking the drinks of other attendees. I believe that, as Anita said, diversity, equity, and inclusion has not only failed, but has produced, well, an apocalyptic, hellish environment, frankly, that needs to be ruthlessly crushed wherever we see it. I call upon the GDC to take their responsibility in this regard very seriously. And, well, protect women, frankly. Well, this is a good start to the week, isn't it? So let us all join hands and send positive thoughts to Anita, and hope that she can take up this newfound crusade of hers against the left-wing games industry. Perhaps she can finally be the conservative savior we always wanted her to be. Until next time, I've been Arch. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good day.